Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So the the decision to move to Jamaica has obviously been made. So the journey has begun, and the first step really in my personal journey to the dream of moving to Jamaica is decluttering my house. My house has got a ton of stuff in it. Um, I live alone. I have a 3-bedroom house. The kids are gone, so there is things that need to go. There's stuff that I'm not going to be able to take with me, and is just in the way now and it needs to go. So I've decided to start an eBay. It's been a long time since I've been on eBay, so that's this is a new learning curve for me. I might actually document it because it's not as easy as you'd think. And I've started with my book collection, and I have to say I did not know how many books I actually had. I'm up to something like 92 listings, and I haven't even dented the collection of just how many books there are. I am finding some bangers, however, so I thought I'd share some of the bangers with you. Right, this one. No idea when I bought it. I think I possibly bought it after my sons were born, which is a good thing, because if I'd have picked names out of this book, they would hate me. I mean, some of them are quite normal. I think a lot of these characters have been the characters out of Star Trek and various sci-fi programs. But there's names in here like Jubilation. That would have been a particularly good one. I think Daniel, yeah, I called him Daniel, would have hated being called Jubilation. And now I'm regretting not doing it. Because, got to get your kicks where you can when it comes to kids. So there's really regular ones like Rosie, Rachel, Sarah Jane, all of that sort of stuff. But then there's things like Grood. Grood would have been a cool dude. Humongous. Now, actually, considering that my oldest son is 6'5" and huge, Humongous might have been a really good name. That one could have really worked for Dan. Connor is 6'7", but more slender. So yeah, Humongous wouldn't have really fit for him. Connor is a traditional Irish name, so that is where he got that, because mother's Irish. But there are some really cool names in here. I mean, Buzz, we all know that one. But Toshio, I suppose that one's quite normal. Yeah, there are some good names, but yeah. So this is one of the books that I found. Ooh, Piotr. Isn't that Russian? I think that one's Russian. Might be Russian. I think it means Peter. Oh, Garoon. Garoon. Oh my days. And Gamulus. Ah, I really missed out. I should have got this book before they were born. I really should have. I could have got my own back for those massive heads. What else have I found? Right, okay, so I'm going to show you this one. This one is The Lovely Bones. The Lovely Bones, amazing book. I read this book and I think I cried through 90% of it, which is possibly not the greatest recommendation for a book, but it's a recommendation for this particular book. It is the story of a 14-year-old girl who is essayed and murdered by somebody in her community, and it is a story told from her view from heaven. So she is watching everything that's happened in the aftermath of her passing, down on earth. What happens to her family, all of that stuff, and it will make you cry. It's just a heartbreaking but brilliantly written story. So yeah, highly recommended. And this one is on my eBay. I did think about whether or not I should keep this one, because reading it again was definitely on the list. But then I thought, most of the books that I buy these days, and I do still buy books, I buy a lot of books, but most of the books I buy these days are on my Kindle, because my eyesight is going, and you can make the text bigger on your Kindle. You can't do that with a book. So for us people that are getting old and blind, Kindle's the way to go. But this book, highly recommended. Right, so that's that one. What else did I find? Oh, I found this. And I think this must have been given to me as a gift. And I've never opened it. Or maybe I bought it as a gift for one of my boys' Christmas presents one year and just forgot to give it to them. I had a really bad habit of doing that. I would buy things for people, tuck them away to hide them during the year so that they wouldn't know what had been bought. I couldn't remember where it was. So I'm a bit like a squirrel losing its nuts. I hide stuff and then can't find it. So this one, as you can see, sealed, still in package, with a wand. It's got a wand. I mean, come on, with a wand. That is on my eBay. I will put the eBay link down below. So if you see anything that you do like and you want to purchase it, fabulous. All the money that goes into that is going to go into the savings fund for Jamaica. So anything I do from here on in, the money's going into the savings fund for Jamaica, and I would be incredibly happy if you bought something. This one, My Life. It's my life now. I bought this one after my divorce from my ex-husband. That's a whole other story, which I may share. Not because I'm bitter, because I'm not really. Everything that happens to you in life is a lesson, and he was expensive but a valuable lesson, and it's one that I've learned well. But I might share some of the things that happened to me during my marriage, so that I think other people could take on board some of the things I've learned and some of the things to watch out for. But yeah, this one is a good book. So the back reads: if you or someone close to you has left an abusive relationship or domestic violence, you know that starting over can be emotional and a practical challenge. And it really is. So this was a very helpful book to me. As you can see, I really look after my books. I love books. I have a passion for books, which is probably why I have so many. But this one, very good book, and all my books are pristine. So when they go up on sale, they're pristine. This one. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is a middle-aged woman doing with a World of Warcraft book? The truth is, I used to play Warcraft. I used to play Warcraft a lot, and I loved the game. I got into it because my sons were teenagers, and it gets to a point as a woman where you start to struggle to communicate with your children, especially boys, because you just don't. There are things that are happening hormonally to them that you just don't understand, and you're never going to understand it. So it can be a bit of a struggle. So I started. They played Warcraft, and I started playing Warcraft so I could play with them. And it was a way for me to be able to communicate with them, because we used to chat in the chat. They'd be in their bedrooms playing, and I would be in my room or downstairs playing, and I would talk to them through the chat. And it was a way of me communicating with them and talking about things that they wanted to talk about, but without having to have the embarrassing face-to-face conversation. I ended up being a guild mother. I was a guild leader, had a guild, and I think at one point we had a couple of hundred people in this guild, and a lot of them were young boys, and they all ended up talking to me like I was their mum. And I think I actually saved a few parental relationships with some of these kids, because I would talk to them about the problems they were having with their own parents and give them the parental side of that equation, and made them understand, what their mum was feeling, because I know as a mum how it would make me feel if my son was disrespectful to me. And I did have quite a few of them come back and message me later on and saying, I went and talked to my mum and I apologised and said I was sorry for behaving the way I behaved, and she was really grateful. And I told her that I'd got the advice off you, and she said to say thank you. So, if you are a mother and you are struggling with your teenage boys, do what they do. Get involved with something that they do. It will give you an in to actually have a conversation with them and maybe be able to sort out the problem that you're having with them, without the embarrassing face-to-face confrontation. Another piece of advice as a mother: put locks on your kids' doors so that they can lock their doors, because there's certain ages you walk through the door and you see things you really don't want to see. So, lesson in life, always knock before entering a teenage boy's room. Believe me, that's good advice. Right, so that one. Now I have a a lot of craft books, because I am a, as my oldest son calls it, I am a craft hoarder, and I really am. It's terrible. It's not terrible, actually. I'm a creative person. I like to make things. It keeps me happy. It keeps me entertained. It stops me going out beating up people in the street. So don't argue. Just let me do my thing. But I do have a lot of craft stuff. So a lot of wool, a lot of sewing stuff. I love embroidery. Absolutely love embroidery. Cross stitch is one of my go-tos. So I have a lot of cross stitch books. Again, as you can see, perfect condition, beautifully kept. This one is one of my the ones that I like, because it speaks to my Irish roots, my Celtic roots. So there's a lot of patterns in here that have got very Irish feet, like Irish knots, that sort of thing. You know, really, really pretty. Yeah. So if you love cross stitch, you might want to check out my eBay channel, because I have got a lot of cross stitch books up, and a lot of knitting, and a lot of sewing, and a lot of tailoring. I have some beautiful tailoring books. I've got Vogue tailoring, all sorts of things up there. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. Another thing. Now, I can cook. I am a good cook. I am a good cook of savoury things. I am, however, the world's worst cook of anything sweet. I don't know why, because I love sweet things. I have a massive sweet tooth, and you can tell from the voluptuous figure that I'm not afraid to eat a burger or eat a chocolate. In fact, I do need to cut down on those, to be quite frank. But I am rubbish at creating anything sweet. I can't bake cakes. Anytime I try and bake a cake, it comes out looking like a cookie. My mum says that it's because I am so heavy-handed that I beat the living life out of the batter of a cake. So I actually have been known to use cake mix to make cookies. Yeah, it's that bad. This one is Green and Black's. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like green and black chocolate. Do you? Anybody? Anybody? Does anybody? Great cookbook. I will say that I could not make anything in it for love nor money. And believe me, I tried. But yeah. So we're letting go of the Green and Black's cookbook, because I have decided it's time to be honest with myself and stop kidding myself. Anything with a cake in it is got to go. Right. Plus, again, I can't take all of these books to Jamaica. The weight, it's just not realistic. So there's that one. What else we got? Oh, another beautiful one. This one. Oh, another one of the hobbies that I did love, and I haven't done for a while, even though I have every silk paint colour under the sun. I have silk, I have gesso, I've got it all. I've got everything that I need, but I haven't done anything, because my concentration has been on, doing things like my designing of bags and stuff like that. And now the idea of going to Jamaica has taken over. So it's very unlikely that I'm going to be doing any of this. But I will in Jamaica, because I don't see why not. Once I'm in retirement, I can be as creative as I like. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this stuff after I finish making it, but it's a totally different question, isn't it? But this book is basically templates. It's designs that you can trace and use to create your own silk or glass painting. Actually, either one works quite well for this. I have used this for glass painting as well, for tracing patterns for glass painting. And you can make all sorts of stuff. So anybody who has done silk painting will know that. Cards. Silk painted cards with a little bit of gold embroidery on. Chef's kiss. So lovely book. Really nice. As you can see, beautifully kept. I always look after my books. Always look after my books. Actually, this one is so beautiful. I always feel sad giving it up. I love Art Nouveau. it's a style classic, you know, Macintosh. It's a style that has really spoken to me. So I do have a lot of Art Nouveau things in my arsenal. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah, okay. Now, I don't think I bought this book. I think this book was bought by my ex-husband. And because I grew up making curries, I've never really needed any help to make a curry. But he did. So, great curries. Lovely book. Some great recipes in here. 300 stunning colour photos. It says that on the back. Includes all the traditional favourite curries as well as some delicious new ideas. Recipes for meat, poultry and fish, and lots of vegetable, rice, bean and lentil dishes. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. It's even got one in here for Indian fish stew. Indian fish stew and coconut scented Goan mussels. Mussels. Aren't they like shellfish? I didn't actually know you can make a curry out of those, but never tried it. Oh, it's also got aloo sag. That's one of my favourites. And spicy bitter gourds. What's a gourd? What do you do with a gourd? If anybody knows, could you let me know down below? Because I don't know what a gourd is. How sad is that? 57, don't know what a gourd is. Shocking. Right, so what else have I got? They're all over here, by the way. I've been stocking them up over here. Oh, here we go, another one. This one is from my boy's childhood. Now, again, look, beautifully looked after. Not a single dent on this book. The corners are perfect. But this is from their childhood, the Science Encyclopedia. Yeah. My younger son, Connor, was just a science hound. He wanted to know how everything worked. So there is a lot of science books in my household and in my life because this is something that he loved. So we bought books that would speak to his passions. His passions moved on to basketball and rugby, but for a while it was science. Another cross-stitch book, the Mary Engelbrecht's first cross-stitch book. This one, again, beautiful condition. Not a dent on the corners, nothing. Really looked after. But very American designs. Lots of cutesy designs in here, as you can see. So yes, the listing of all these books has begun. And this isn't even the iceberg. Over there is the 92 that I've already done. This lot. Oh, I'm going to be very tired, aren't I? Oh, yeah. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It's making me concentrate and focus my attention on something that I want for my own future. In a few days' time is the anniversary of my dad's death, the 17th of February. And it's hit home. He's not here anymore. And I think wanting to go and live in Jamaica has got a lot to do with him. It really has. It's something that we didn't really get to do when we were young. Dad and Mum were both immigrants to the country and really couldn't afford expensive trips to Jamaica. So we never got to go there in our childhood. It's only as adults that we've actually been able to go. And I have so many family members there that they're people that I want to get to know and spend more time with. A lot of people will say, you know, oh, you've got sons, but my sons are happy. They're doing what they want to do. They've got their lives. And to be honest, I don't see them very much. They don't come and visit. They don't phone. So why am I putting my life on hold because I'm somebody's mum? I've been somebody's mum for over 30 years. And it really doesn't seem to make any difference how long you've been someone's mum as to whether or not they want to spend time with you. So I am going to make the best and the most out of what I can of the rest of my life. Next month, I'm off to Jamaica for a 2-week holiday with a friend, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I will, whilst I am there, take lots of video, and I will post lots of video about the adventures that myself and my friend Morley have. But in the meantime, Thank you very much for watching. I hope I haven't bored you. I hope you found some of my book collection interesting. And if you do fancy buying any of it, pop along to eBay and take a look and see if there's something there you fancy. I can pretty much guarantee you the collection over there is pretty eclectic. So you are going to sort of go, huh? At some of my books. But see you next time. Thanks very much. You take care now.